Is this thing on? Welcome back to my channel, Natasha Naturale. I am Natasha. Today is, you guessed it, Yule. It's Winter Solstice. I'm so excited. I have been drinking tea. I got this whole setup. I have my Yuletide altar ready for tonight. This 2018 Winter Solstice is very special. Well, it's always special, but tonight's especially special because today is going to be a meteor shower, and then also it's a full moon on top of it being the longest night of the year. What? How's that even happen? It's pretty cool. I'm super excited. Tonight I plan on having some friends over, people who are interested in having a little bit of a Yuletide celebration. We're gonna eat some food, maybe we'll burn some wood, or maybe not, I don't know. It's kind of cold out at night. And we don't want that much light outside because we want to see the stars. So, I don't know, it's still all up in the air. I wonder what you guys are planning for this winter solstice, if you are planning anything at all, or if you have any traditions. I am so fascinated. I would love to hear them. Please comment below. Today I am just kind of expounding upon winter solstice. An earlier video I did was about Yule. And winter solstice and Yule are, for the most part, interchangeable. They pretty much mean the same thing. The only difference is that Yule is a cultural reference to neo-pagan and pagan practices regarding the longest night of the year in Northern Europe. In the Norse, Celtic, and Druid, well, probably just the Germanic peoples, so mainly the Norse, they believe that the Green Man, also known as the Oak King, battles his twin brother, the Holly King, and is defeated by the Holly King, thus ushering in the light. So that's just a little bit of, pagan background, some lore that you can throw at your friends if you're going to a holiday party this weekend. So tonight I'm just going to be hanging out with some friends and catching up with, some people, eating some food and drinking some delicious drinks, getting cozy, celebrating the winter solstice. Because it's going to be a full moon, if you are interested in magic or you do your own full moon rituals, this is a very important time to charge your crystals. So tonight I will definitely be putting my crystals out under the open sky to be blessed by our beautiful, beautiful moon and let it be touched by the light that comes only at night. Some of the crystals, let's see if I have them, that I am going to be using tonight for winter solstice are generally crystals that I use all year round. We are coming out of the Sagittarius full moon. I personally am a Sagittarius, so the first crystal that I am going to acknowledge and expound upon is citrine. This is let's see if we could get it nice and see how beautiful that is. Citrine is, for the most part, it's a quartz crystal. It is with some yellow colorations. It's beautiful. Some of the cultural beliefs surrounding citrine is that citrine has the magical properties of enhancing wealth, good luck, and it's also just a quartz crystal, so it's pretty grounding and it keeps away negative spirits, which is very important for tonight, and I'll tell you about that why later. Another crystal that I'll be working with is amethyst. Amethyst is one of my favorite crystals because it's very pretty. It's a very lovely, delicate set of violets and purples. Amethyst is a very special stone to me because it wards off negative energies. Another stone I'll be working with is adventuring. You can't have the holidays without seeing reds or greens, so those are very important colors. And rather than using some of the other stones that are green, like malachite, which you can use malachite, use whatever calls to you, but for me, I'm going to be using aventurine. Aventurine is a stone for abundance. Winter solstice is a good time because we're entering a new season. It's the first day of winter, and subsequently it's a new part of the year where the days are going to begin to get longer and longer. So it's a very good time to set intentions. My intention is to just have a positive year. I am working on a couple projects, so I want to make sure I have enough time to really just tune in to my spirituality, but then also be more creative. So I believe adventuring is going to help me in that because I would really love to go on a few more adventures. So this will be my stone of choice to embark on those endeavors. Another stone I'm going to be working with is rose quartz. This is a stone that is pretty much a starter stone for most people because it's a lovely, lovely stone. It's a nice, pretty pink color. It's a quartz, so there's a lot of grounding. You can really clear away negativity. I'm trying to get away from negativity so that you can see that in my stones. I wonder what stones you guys are going to be using. You certainly don't have to use the same one as mine. Really go with your gut. Everyone's different. Everyone celebrates Yule, the holidays this time of year. Everyone just has their own beliefs. So if you're not using some of my stones, if you're using some of the similar stones, let me know. I'm kind of curious. What are your favorite stones that you like to work with? These are mainly my favorite stones to work with, but I mean, I have plenty of other ones. The reason why I am using stones and a couple other things to ward off negativity is because my start with exploring other dimensions and the other side was, well, I sort of grew up with odd experiences. I have a twin sister, so I feel fortunate that we would experience much of the same thing. We'll hear footsteps when no one else is around. We've seen figures that weren't exactly human or not human at all. I have experienced quite a few things by myself. The first time that I really was pretty scared out of my wits was on a winter solstice night. This was probably, oh man, it had to have been like 5 years ago. I was still living at home with one of my parents, and most of my siblings, well, all my siblings had moved out at that point. I was at the university, so I could not afford to do that. So I was living at home. I was home alone, and I was watching my dog. We were hanging out, and the door into the garage it just opened by itself. I'm like, okay, that's kind of spooky. So I ended up staying up 2 extra hours after that, like even later than it already was, watching cartoons, just chilling with my dog. My dog was just kind of freaking out because she's like, what just happened? I'm like, girl, you tell me. And it happened maybe 2 more times after that. So then afterwards we went upstairs. I'm like, we're going to bed. I'm not dealing with this. So I go to bed, I get ready. I'm a little freaked out, but I do some deep breaths. I'm getting ready for sleep. It's not the first time that I've had spooky things happen in my house. I'm sure it happens to most people, or not even most people, but sure happens to me quite a bit. So I go to bed and I'm laying in bed, and for some reason And when I close my eyes, I'm seeing the top of my stairs. I sleep upstairs. So it's like as if I'm peeking around the corner to see something coming up the stairs. And this figure that was walking up my staircase was super spooky. Like really scary. It was this sort of like a cloaked figure without a face. It was in like this gray, blue, black garb. And it was sort of just like kind of floating up the stairs and coming to the very top step. It stops. And it turns its, well, maybe it was a head, I don't know what this thing had, but what would have been the head, it turns like to look at me, and I'm just like, nope. I opened my eyes, and I was up all night. I had work the next morning, which was, was not fun. And then after that, I had quite a few spooky run-ins for the rest of that year, a lot of creepy things that were happening. So this year, I'm going to be prepared, and I'm going to tell you how maybe you can prepare yourself. During this time of year, the veil between worlds are still pretty thin, especially since Samhain was not too long ago, Samhain being Halloween, October 31st. Because it is Winter Solstice, the Earth is tilted on its axis furthest away from the sun. Well, the northern hemisphere is tilted furthest away from the sun. For whatever reason, I always experience some really weird stuff on and around Winter Solstice. So to prepare this year, I created some Yuletide decorations. Some may call it a Christmas star. It is a pentagram, which is a old symbol that represents the elements. Here, I tied it with ribbon, and it was really easy, really cheap. This is a very eco-conscious decoration and craft. It consists of mesquite bark from the tree in my front yard. She wanted a nice trim. Instead of throwing away her branches, I kept some of her more straight branches because she was just like, what's up? You need to do something with these, but I didn't know what. So I kind of cut them up about a foot in length, 12 inches for each branch. And then I just tied each end with ribbon. I didn't use any glue, didn't use any tape, nothing too crazy. And I made it more sturdy with this called fairy lights. Well, I got one with a battery pack, and da-da-da! Wait. And da-da-da! It's this blue color, so you might be thinking, wait, Natasha, blue is not a Yuletide color. I'm gonna tell you something that you might not know, but you probably intuitively know, is that, here, I'll turn this off because it's kind of crazy bright. Blue is a color for protection. So I'm going to put this on my doorway so that no spooky figures come into my house tonight or for the rest of the year. So that's the intention that I'm setting for this year, the intention of protection and prosperity. Hence my citrine and all the different quartzes that I'm working with tonight. This is so cool. So yeah, tonight's gonna be really fun. I've baked some cookies. We're going to maybe decorate these oranges that are on my altar, burn the Yule logs that we prepared and decorated for tonight. Good time sharing my Yuletide crafts. If you liked this sort of content or you're interested in more celestial celebrations, little story time chats, give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please click subscribe. You'll be the first to know when there's some new content that comes up. Again, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Yule, a blessed winter solstice, and have a safe, happy, prosperous new year.